Mark, did we do it?
It's going, just live as needed, it's going well.
Okay, we're ready. Call meeting to order at 4:59. So we've got the whole team here today.
What's left of us? We couldn't even field a basketball team anymore, right?
Yeah. And you're
Pickleball, we could put a pickleball.
let's go to item 1, approval of the agenda for today.
Make a motion to approve.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item 2, consent agenda for approval of the 6:05 meeting minutes.
I'll move toward please.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now we will move to Scott. Item 6, 71 Marigold Drive. Do you have a comment or anything?
It's pretty self-explanatory, and it's not a large thing, so,
Yeah.
the purpose is just to give us both a little bit of privacy and crowd and connects.
Well, yeah, I think the committee is okay with privacy screens, but I'm afraid that privacy screen is not quite up to par in our opinion. It looks like it's just 4 pieces of paneling strapped together on your railing.
It's handling, yeah, I mean, I did that intentionally to try and give it some aesthetic value, where it would be just, something, a piece of board or something. I'm not quite sure what you would consider to be better, unless I had a contractor come in and actually build some kind of a wall there, I guess.
Well, probably almost anything. I mean, it's kind of, it looks like it's being weathered. It's starting to bow. It's not really what we would consider a privacy screen. We don't have a concern with privacy screens per se, but that I think is not quite up to what our standards are in the valley. I mean, I mean, your house looks beautiful, and then you see in the back that you have these 4 pieces of paneling just kind of strapped up in your railing, and
But the only people who can see it are myself and my neighbor.
I think that's part of the issue is if it was just in the back of your house and you were the only one that had to look at it, it would be one thing. But understand the need for the privacy screen.
yeah, we all understand that.
But yeah, Daniel's right, when we walked around and we saw it, and it was just kind of a piece of paneling with 4 holes drilled into it and zip tied to your railing. I think
It's not
that's
even
what-
exterior.
Yeah,
You know, it looks like it's being weathered.
and I don't know what maybe something a little more even and like screwed to the deck or something. Yeah, just something that looks a little more aesthetically pleasing to your neighbor than a piece of wood zip
So
tied
I
to
thought
the.
since the paneling was, regular wood paneling, that would be acceptable. What I'm a little unclear as to what you would consider to be acceptable.
Well, I have a friend that doesn't live in the Shetland Valley, but they have just temporary screens that they just kind of unfold and stuff and just put out. That look really nice. I don't remember if it was, a bamboo thing or, but. I mean, that was pretty inexpensive, you don't have to worry about installing it. You just kind of put it up and open it up type thing.
We wouldn't even have to
Yeah.
approve that. would we?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I would still have to try and secure it, to the railing to keep the wind from blowing it over.
Yeah, if you wanted to keep it as a permanent structure, yeah, you probably would.
Yeah, well, it helps addressing this point.
But I'm not sure how permanent your current fencing is, because it looks like it could blow over pretty easily.
No, not really.
I have a question.
Sure.
When you're standing at your house, which side is the privacy screen on?
On the right, yeah, well, if you're standing in front, it's on the right.
Okay, that's,
Yeah,
yeah, that's the one. And
yeah,
this looked
Yeah.
like wood, but what we saw there looked like cardboard and stuff.
Yeah, I think the view that you have from your deck is not terrible. But when you look at it from the backside, what the neighbors seeing, they're seeing kind of just a
to the left.
cockeyed piece of paneling that's zip tied to the railing.
It's
So
2 different styles of paneling too.
Yeah. Okay, so you're saying that it's not acceptable the way it is then?
Yeah, it's really an aesthetic issue. We don't have a problem with privacy screen per se, but we do like to see what it looks like and what the neighbors have to see.
Okay,
And I mean, your house looks not, it's a really nice house. It was surprising to see something like that back there attached to it. So, yeah, I think we can't approve this particular privacy screen.
okay, so I need to put something maybe along the lines of what you were saying, some kind of a bamboo screen or,
Yeah, I mean, not necessarily bamboo, that was just,
yeah.
Something-
Well, I think
somebody
what you're
had-
saying, I mean,
Yeah.
Lowe's, so something like that, I assume would work.
Yeah, I think if it was something that was, it doesn't have to be, big structurally. Impressive, but like something that was maybe framed up a little more and either freestanding and that could stand there, or if it had to be weighted down or something like that.
Yeah, so I'd have to secure it somehow, because the wind rips through there pretty good.
Yeah.
I would have to, otherwise the wind will just blow it over.
So I think you're hearing from us that, yeah, we're okay with the privacy screen if that helps to keep good relations with the neighbors, just in order for. Keep good relations with the neighbors, let's make it something that looks a little more aesthetically pleasing.
What period of time would I'm getting ready to leave for a month, and I don't know that I have a lot of time, but.
I think if you work with the committee and commit to getting that going, like I said,
I'm sure.
I'll keep it triggered so that we keep, a tickler on it. That way we'll check in with each other, we'll make sure it's going okay.
Okay, yeah, well, it shouldn't take too much, but I'm besieged.
I also have a suggestion, if I may.
Sure.
One thing we haven't talked about are the vegetative type screens. There are some accordion type, fake plastic flower. Green screens that look a little bit more natural, that's also another option.
Where do you, online or?
Let's, if you, I'll get a note to call you, and I'll just take a note about the screen, I was okay, so. Would if I find some digital.
Would it be okay if I could do that in the beginning of August? Because I'm gonna be gone all of July. And I'm kind of hurting for time right now.
So procedurally, what would happen is we would deny your request for the
Yeah.
privacy screen as is, and then if you wanted to resubmit it, you could resubmit it on your own.
Sure. As long as I can do it in a time frame that works, right now, as I say, I don't have a lot of.
So this is mid-June, let's just say, by the end of August, is that?
Oh, yeah, no, I definitely could do that.
So that's about 2 months.
Yeah.
Ish.
how much room do you have on your deck there? Could you put some planters with some trees or something?
Yeah, that's not a total screening aspect per se, but good, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's another alternative,
Sure, I
it's
do.
up to you, yeah,
Yeah,
and
sure.
explore those ideas.
Well, I'll work with Alan to come up with.
Okay,
Well, I'll make a motion to deny as submitted and with a note that the general concept of the privacy screen is not the problem, it's just this is not aesthetically pleasing, particularly for the neighbors, so request that the homeowner come back with something a little more structurally sound and well put together, and then we'll take another look at it.
Make a comment that I've seen several other privacy screen type aspects in my area that are a lot less pleasing than mine.
Well, I will note that, not as part of my motion, but I will note that I do appreciate that you actually brought this to the committee, that
Sure.
there are, you ain't a wolfing man, that there are people out there that have just, they will throw up crap and
Well,
it never comes to this.
Think of a couple of instances in general that all it is a piece of plywood that they've stuck up as a vegan and,
Well, I'll give you the number of.
Talk to Alan
compliance
about
officer. I can give you the number of the compliance officer. if you-
All right, we've got a motion on the table. All in favor of Dan's motion?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, unanimous. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you.
They're okay if I.
If you stay around any longer, we're gonna make you a member of the committee.
Well, I've been there for 5 years before.
Okay.
what's your chance to re-up? There's a signing bonus.
Right now, probably not too good.
We talked about this, you were not supposed to, you're Joe Jean's supposed to ask from now on, right? You're back.
Okay, well, thanks.
Scott.
Thank you.
All right, item 8. 7-minute report, Vlad.
Wow. You still recording?
So this is the one where we requested that you move the house over a little bit.
Yeah, and I would make it 2.5 for the driveway.
If we don't have Joel or,
Jared's expected here.
yeah, it looks like you did what we asked you to do, and we noticed there are a couple different iterations of your drawings. I'm assuming that,
If I may, I know that what Joel did do was work with Flat,
yeah,
and on the resubmission,
looks like page 8 is the most current.
there was a mix of updates of
Okay.
pages and some older ones. The landscaping and sewer connection, I think, are the older pages.
Mhm.
Most of these architectural and site plans are newer, as is Joel's comment on page 3. The 619 update.
So the driveway turnaround was added, updated the open space property. House was moved in 5 feet from the property line. Builder wants to keep 2 trees near the southeast corner of the home. I think the only question that I had was, this all looks great, like this property, you got the turnaround in here.
Yeah.
There's page 8.
Turnaround.
The page 8.
Yeah, it doesn't have a page, but I think it's page 8. It's the plan, yeah, there you go, page 7 and page 8. Okay, I see it now. Yeah, that has the turnaround.
Mhm.
And just to clarify, like on this page 12, that doesn't have the turnaround, but this was an older.
Yeah, it's probably older, yeah.
All right, just to make sure those.
Yeah.
So.
So as far as what I can tell, you did what we asked you to do. Looks good. Does anybody else have any comments about this?
Yeah, I move to approve the submission.
Any other comments, Dan?
No, I think it was good. Appreciate you putting that turnaround in. I think that's gonna make a big difference for the.
All in favor of Patrick's motion?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thanks for working with us.
Yeah, thank you. Ally,
All good.
thank you so much.
Yeah.
You stay there any longer, you'll be on the committee, so.
Joe,
Item 10. Chad, 1015 Valley Drive.
So item 10.
Yeah. So you're just looking for an extension,
Yes.
and I think Alan told me that typically now we offer you a 6-month extension. Whatever you take of that, then you work with admin and take care of that.
I think it's very reasonable with sometimes projects can take just a teeny bit longer.
Yeah, you don't want to tag it for the whole 6
And
months.
this one has been a logistical, interesting project to get out of the ground and with all the retaining wall. Concrete, so we end up eating more time and dealing with engineers, so we appreciate the patience.
Yeah, no problem. Anybody have any comments about this extension?
Daniel, did you want to extend it to 6 months, because Chad was only asking 2?
Yeah, we're gonna just typically do.
Go to
this at
6,
6 months.
yeah. At the time, I wasn't sure, I just figured, okay, 2 months.
Yeah.
So how does that work? Then they pay on each month, is it?
Yeah,
So we approve it for up to 6 months.
yeah, so they don't have to come back, like if you need another month or a week or whatever, you don't have to come back to us.
The agreement is on the expiration of their original permit date. That they come in and pay the monthly fee of $850 per month.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve this extension for up to 6 months.
Did Patrick make one or?
No,
No, okay.
that's the
All
last.
right, all in favor of Dan's motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
Thank you.
thanks, Chad, that one was easy, huh?
Yeah, now I just gotta get the other projects going. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Take care. Item 19, 22 Granite Circle, Mark. Actually might need you on this phone, Jerry. Oh, Brad, 519.
So basically, there's just a few design changes, and there's a few window changes. We added some square feet on third floor.
Mhm.
And then just the siding style changed. Also, there's a covered deck in the back.
Yeah.
We uncovered that, so that reduced the pervious surfaces, so it made the open space and the lot coverage smaller just a bit.
What was the expansion on the second floor? I think you explained it to me, but I can't recall.
Basically, there is like a roof on the third floor and a roof on the second floor, and we just added square feet on the third floor.
I can give you a side by side of the elevation if that would help.
Yeah, we plug in there.
There we go, that's all.
Is this the one where you're taking over the build for somebody?
I'm the designer and the draftsman,
Okay,
so I drew these plans, but I'm not personally taking over the building.
but someone's taking over the build?
Yeah, someone's taking over the building.
It was purchased from.
I don't know all the details, but I think it was Anton used to be the old owner, and then now it's. There might be even a few owners, I don't know all the details, I'm just designing that,
Down to foundation was poured, right?
basically, yeah,
Building out from that.
yeah.
So the first two inspections have been done, the third and fourth inspection still have to happen. But the house needs to be framed and built and all the new stuff.
Oh, it's just a foundation then?
Right.
So is the roof actually higher or is it just the way?
The roof elevation, I think you went up by a foot, but it's still within the Southern Valley guidelines.
The roof, under definition
2
2,
feet.
went from 17.7 to 19.6.
Yeah, so I guess.
So it went up a little bit, but still under the max guideline.
That's a pretty significant change to the profile. I mean, they're adding a whole, on the right side there, they're basically adding so you're adding a second story to the right side.
Yeah. I mean,
What's the-
it's all within the Southern Valley rules and everything, so.
Well, those are guidelines.
Those are guidelines more than the words of the.
Okay.
If you have a neighbor on that side and suddenly it's got a,
I know the neighbor next door, it's a new home that was just built, I think it's for sale right now.
Can we, Jerry, can we see the other profile changes? Here. Looks like you got them right there, that side of
This is the front elevation. This is the right elevation. This is the left elevation.
The footprint and the overall like wall design is all the same, it's just the windows, the siding and that. That section of the building that was.
How many square feet was it and how many square feet will it be?
I'm not sure what the old square feet is, but I think it's just above 3,000. The way to go now.
so why you make the change?
That was kind of my. So I've been dealing with Alex from KSO Construction, he's the one that's taking over and building this. And they're. They wanna make more money, so, I mean, this was resale, right, so.
So you're just responding to what the builder wants to do.
Yeah, and it's my design as well, they gave me all the freedom to design it.
All right,
so.
but the builder said, I want to see something different than what we have. I want to build on this. I want to build on this foundation, but I want to add more square footage. I want to add a bigger house.
No, yeah, basically, and also, I mean, we changed the design of it. I mean, each builder has their own design, so.
Right. Alright, and from our standpoint, like, to me, whether it's vertical siding or horizontal siding, that's not as matters as much as like the profile here, that's a significant change.
It's a much more imposing profile. It may have been approved originally because it wasn't as imposing. It's what are the setbacks on this?
I mean, the setbacks and all of that didn't change, the roof footprint didn't change, none of that changed. So
Well, what changed is that it's a more imposing structure, and if it's just 5 feet from the setback.
it's more than 7 or more than 5 feet, you can tell that it's 5 feet to the staircase. So it's more like,
The house itself on the right side looks like it's just a little over 5 feet.
Yeah.
wait, what do you mean by that?
Well, pull up page 3, I'm seeing a property line here with the setback. The setback runs right against the back right corner of the house.
Okay,
Like, this is the setback here, right?
yeah,
This is the setback line.
On the right side.
Right
Yeah.
here, yeah, so you're. Whatever that is, if this is 5 foot, then that's probably a foot or 2 at the most, so you're
well, the
6 feet from the property line.
the dashed line is the roof overhang, that's a 2 foot overhang. And the
Okay.
roof overhang is within this 5 foot setback, so I don't
Oh,
know,
yeah, so the house is 7 foot from the property line.
the 7 feet or maybe even a little more.
Well,
It
we
can-
do measure to the.
Yeah.
Right. But it's just in terms of like the appearance, if you're out there, like if
But
you're standing on the property line, then this is where the house is gonna be. So if there's another house 5 feet on that side, what's that gonna look like?
Yeah.
so that side of the house didn't change, it's the left side that changed. And the left side is sloped up and it's pretty steep. And the new house that was built in the left house, there's not many windows on that side. So I don't think that's an issue at all. And if you guys wanna verify that, you guys can go check. But I think I only counted one window on that and it's for like a bathroom.
Is there a house on both sides?
No, it's just the left side. Right side, I don't know much about lot 92.
Can we see what the setbacks are on that side?
They're more than 5 feet for sure.
Yes.
And you see how the lot is sloping up, so
Yeah.
technically, even if you look at the height definition. It's only, I forgot what the exact number is. I mean, it's within 20 feet and it slopes up, so technically. It's a lot lower than the other home.
So the property line is actually 26 feet from the overhang, right?
Looks like this measurement here. About 15 feet, 9 inches.
15. That's the wall.
Oh, 15
where's the
feet
overhang?
forward.
Well, 15 feet plus 10 feet, because the house is another 10 feet from the wall. So 25 feet 4 inches from the property line.
That's pretty significant.
Or 20, the lot line is sloped, so it says 26 feet to the eaves.
Sun Valley owns a lot next door.
On the left.
Mm-hmm.
You mean on the right, right?
On the right, looking at the house, that Sun Valley owns the lot next door, it's subject to a restrictive covenant. Which generally,
Might be sold.
but won't be sold.
So I don't think there should be any issues with that, right?
What does everybody think about that? Siding, I don't care about, those changes, that's.
Jerry, can you pull up a picture of the house next door?
I don't have access to that at the moment.
I'm sure you can find it on Redfin, it's for sale.
Try a Zillow search or a Google Earth search.
Go Google Earth, find that to be very cool.
It might not be on Google Earth because it's
Yeah,
somewhere.
they don't, Google Earth doesn't do their street view in most of Sun Valley. They do it on a couple of streets.
I know, it's right.
It's like they got lost and just kept recording.
What's the
24 granite circle.
That's the neighbor's house.
We just lower the price by 25,000.
this would be,
Oh, that's.
Yeah, it's also a pretty,
Yeah, so that one's pretty tall and
it's this
big.
one right here, right? Well, Jerry's got it right there, isn't it? That's the one, yeah. So it's a pretty imposing house there too.
Can you go through the photos and kind of show that there's no windows on the right side of it?
well, I got left views. But if it's anything like the left view, then it won't. Okay, let's see. Okay, yeah, there are no windows.
Yeah, there's no windows on that
Go
side.
back to
That's
the-
right.
There was just, they had the drone footage there for a second showed, I think you could see the footprint of this house.
How could you build a house like that with any windows on the side?
Is that the foundation right
Yeah,
there?
that's the foundation.
So then you can get a bit of an idea as to what that looks like.
And the outer wall, that's the retaining wall, so the foundation's even lower than that, so that's not the top of the foundation.
So that's the foundation.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, that's the retaining wall back there.
And that retaining walls, I'm not sure, I mean, it stops up, so the foundation is like 10 feet lower than that retaining wall. So it's significantly lower than this home.
Anybody have any issues with it then?
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I'll make a motion unless there's any further discussion.
I think I was leaning towards, we probably should go out and look at it, but I think this helps to be able to
This
kind of
does
see
help
it.
a lot.
And then the fact that the house next, or the lot next to it is a Sudden Valley lot. Doesn't look like there's anything behind it either, huh?
I don't know, I
It's
didn't see
green
any.
space, it's just
Homes.
Sudden Valley green space behind it. So there's not like you're gonna be. Yeah, I don't know, I don't think the addition of that. Second story space is gonna,
Okay, then I move to approve as submitted.
All in favor?
Why?
Aye.
Aye.
on the driveway, but we already just voted on it, but on that driveway, you're gonna do something that's a steep driveway, man, you're gonna have to rake finish that. or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, I mean, I know you guys' new policies is for break finish, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, we should probably include that in the month.
I would agree.
Well, isn't that part of the old 2018 rules? I mean, and this was drawn up in 20.
Did you put the driveway in already?
No.
Can you put a rake finish on it?
I mean, I can't just. Not
Did you see what the percentage is on that slope?
Yeah,
It's a dangerous slope.
okay,
Could you put a rake finish on it?
yeah,
Could I put that on your motion, Patrick? The rake finish for the driveway?
Yes, in addition to a rake finish on the drive. All those in favor?
Aye. Okay. Thank you.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we'll go back up to item.
Nobody's on the phone.
Okay, so it's just. Item 3,
Here's the fence for not the guy, right?
yeah, I think, our only issue was that the fence does need to be in the setback. He wasn't really clear where his property line was.
No, and there's not a lot of room in the back between those two houses back there. There wasn't a lot of room. So if he's gonna go 5 foot off the property line, he's gonna have a fence that's gonna be about this far from his house.
He didn't seem to have a problem with it. We could have him submit a variance and, if he wants to. Come
Well,
in
do
and
you guys go out and like, once we approve this, and then he does the work, do you go out and look at it?
No, it's unless there's something special.
This one might be something special.
Sure.
Like if we approve the request for the fence, it needs to be with the understanding that he will find the property line and put the fence 5 feet off the property line. And if he's gonna do something different than that, then he needs to come with a variance request. Because when we were out there, it was almost like a little compound. There was about 4 or 5 houses kind of in an area. And his house and the other house weren't, I mean, they weren't more than 30 or 40 feet apart. And so by the time you find that property line, he's gonna have about 20 feet of backyard with a 5-foot setback. He's not gonna have much room in the back. But I think he was mostly concerned about that side fence.
Yeah.
So. So I would be okay saying we approve it with the understanding that he's going to, before installing the fence, he's gonna locate the property line and ensure the fence is 5 feet off the property line.
Yep.
Yeah,
And anything less than that would require a variance.
and I think he said he talked to you about what the actual hog wire fence looks like, so it's clear about that. With the green or black.
And normally, you know, it wouldn't be as big a deal, but the fact that those houses are all so compoundy,
Everybody's looking at it.
you know, the neighbor behind him, if he starts throwing a fence on the property line, that's gonna affect the neighbor more directly than it would in some other cases.
So, yeah, that's yours.
Pardon?
That's your motion.
That would be my motion, yes. The motion, I make a motion to approve with the understanding that the homeowner will find the property, locate the property lines and ensure that the fence is 5 foot off the property lines outside the setback. And then if there's anything different than that, then he needs to come back for the variance request before construction.
All in favor?
I,
Aye. I did note in your notes, Dan, that this was requested in what, 2000? What year was that first request?
2018.
And then the kid would. The kid we saw was, but under a year old,
Yeah, maybe a 1-year-old at most.
so maybe they had a different reason for doing it before, but
You know,
it seemed urgent. It was a cute kid, you know, own kids. All right, item 4, I think that one was retracted.
yeah. Did they talk to you, Alan?
We went up there, so this is Eleanor Morales, right?
Yeah, they're basically, we went and met with them and they were out of town and they said we didn't have a chance to
Yeah.
pull it, so they're.
Got it.
Item 5 is sort of a similar situation as our fence where we couldn't determine where the property line was, and it looked like based on Dan's measurement. This structure would come out. Pretty close to the property line, probably. We're not sure where the property line is, so we. If we did approve this, we would have to say it would be contingent on the measurement of where the property line was and ensure that it's at least a 5-foot setback.
Given that this is more than just a fence, do we want to ask him to stake and string the property line in the building?
I would be good with that, because even if this is within 5 feet setback, it's still pretty close to the neighbor's house.
Yeah.
So I would like to see it strung and staked.
I would not feel comfortable saying whether or not it would be within ACC guidelines unless I saw it staked and strong. Having gone out there and seen its location.
Yes, I think that's fair.
All right, well, I'll make a motion to deny and request that the homeowner stake and string the property line and then the location of the addition to determine whether a variance request would be needed.
All in favor of Dan's motion?
I,
Aye. Okay. Ready for another shed? Item 7, 51 Sudden Valley Drive.
Oh, this is the one we haven't looked at.
Yeah, this was one we asked for him to stake and string it. He did, but we still aren't sure what this shed is gonna look like. It will be pretty visible. It's on a pretty busy road. It is hidden by some trees, but the only real description is that it's a Costco not permanent, and it will be the color of the house. I would really like to see what it looks like, mainly because it's right there. It's on the corner of Sudden Valley and Deer Run Lane, so it's gonna be pretty visible.
Yeah, it's gonna look like a house in the front yard, whether it's his front yard or not. It's gonna look like a house in the front yard or shed in the front yard.
And I'm not sure what not permanent means. It's kind of a sloped property, so I can't imagine it not being permanent.
well, I think according to the dictionary, as we've used in other things,
Which is now one of the guidelines we use.
It means that
Both the dictionary-
that it can be moved.
Yeah, that's my reading too, but should it be? If it's that easy to move it, is it gonna be? Just sitting there on the slope there, I have a lot of questions about it still.
You said you talked to him, right?
Yeah.
It's the one that.
Well, he came back and said it is stake and stroke.
It
Yeah.
is,
Okay.
but we don't know what this shed looks like.
That's a different,
That's a-
it is a different topic.
That is a different thing, and. Based on this drawing, I thought it's probably gonna be fine because it's behind trees and things, but it is on two fairly busy roads.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on that's a pretty major intersection there.
Okay.
It's a big lot that he has.
He does have a double lot of things,
The two lots.
Yeah.
and that's why we're considering, allowing it, but who knows what's gonna end up there, I'd like to see what.
And we asked him to come back with a plan for how to somehow. Screen it off, like, put some vegetation in front of it to where, because on the one side, there's a cluster of trees, so that kind of does hide it.
Yeah.
On the one side, but then on the other side, when you're driving down Sudden Valley or Deer Run, it's right there in your face. Is there a way that you could plant some shrubbery or something there?
Well, actually, you can kind of see it on the Deer Run part. I mean, you can see it on two sides of it.
Yeah,
It's back against trees on one, but it's really,
yeah.
if you're coming down the main street.
I wouldn't want my neighbor putting that thing up. So,
And we don't know what it's gonna be, it could be like a little plastic dollhouse, we just don't know, I'd really like to see what it looks like, and. If it were in the back there and nobody would ever see it. I'd probably just go ahead and move it the way it is, but I wouldn't really I'd like to see what the shed looks like. Is that what it comes down to, or do you also wanna see a plan to? For a privacy screen?
Yeah, I want to see what the shed looks like first of all, but also,
Most of the people, when you approve sheds, they're usually in the backyard where you don't see it from the
Mhm.
streets.
Yeah.
it doesn't show as a double lot. It might have been combined at one point because it is quite a bit bigger than all the other lots around it.
It says it's located on two lots.
That's entirely possible.
Jerry, can you pull up that one?
The
51 Sudden Valley. Ronald Furlong.
oh, that's the lot number. Do you know that street address?
51 Sudden Valley
Okay.
Drive. Whether, there you go, I don't know if it'll give us anything.
Let's see.
Oh, there it is, look at that.
So
Looks a hell of a lot better than any other.
this is beautiful lot.
Yeah.
I'm guessing this is the stand of trees.
No, it's over on the.
No,
right.
it's actually, yeah.
Kind of on the right side there.
See if I can find any other exterior shots. Yeah, wonderful voyeuristic view of the interior of this home, but
There you go, that's kind of, yeah, that's right there where that tree is where he wants to build. He wants to put it right here on. So this is Sudden Valley and then this is Deer Run.
Okay.
I think it's on the other side of those trees.
Is it?
Yeah, because they're the smaller trees behind that.
Could be, yeah.
It seems to indicate it's between some trees. And it's on the oriented toward the Deer Run side of this.
Yeah. It's nestled in, the way it's staked, but you can still see it.
Okay. So what I have so far is we've admitted that it's a visible location, and we need to see what it looks like.
Yeah.
Resubmit with those.
Do you want any plans for any kind of privacy screen or?
Are we gonna, if he comes back with a super duper looking great shed, are we gonna be okay with the shed being in there, or are we gonna say that's? I don't wanna keep having him make multiple
Right,
bites at
right,
the apple.
yeah.
Trying to look up Costco sheds,
They run the gamut, I think.
we'll assume it's a large storage shed. Yeah, I mean,
You might be able to reduce it by 10, it's supposed to be 10 by 10. Is a fairly common size.
yeah, I mean, it looks like it'll. be aesthetically okay.
I mean, they're not ugly, but they may not be the most,
The thing with those sheds is after a year or two, they get kind of weathered and then crappy and next thing you know, you got a guy, and then he's piling this, he had a propensity to pile a lot of crap around his house. And he starts piling a lot of crap around his shed too, then. I don't like it, but I'm just okay. I would
This
ask
is-
him to come back with a
A
better description
plan.
of the shed, pictures of the shed, and then some plan on how he's gonna put some vegetation around it to screen it off from the roads.
Yeah, I think that's fair. So we see what the house, what the shed looks like, and then what other plans he has or around it as far as privacy screens.
And request that he develop a plan to screen it off from the road with a privacy screen or some vegetation, so.
So is that a good motion in there?
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
who wants it?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to deny and request that they come back with a more detailed description and pictures of the shed. And how he's going to install the shed, if he's gonna level a pad. Or what he's gonna do there, and then a description of how he would intend to. Put some screening, privacy screen or vegetation to where the shed wouldn't be imposing and visible from the main road. That'll work?
Good. That works for me. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
I don't know what I hate more, sheds or fences,
We're not,
just like fence, oh, here we go.
It's a tough one.
Oh, this is
Item 9.
the one that you've been working with her on.
yeah.
We did not go look at this,
Seriously.
no.
You did.
No, we didn't, we did not, no, we didn't.
We're going on your
You
recommendation.
say so?
Oh, you were gonna show photos.
Yeah, I've got a picture.
Yeah.
The Becker Ln.
All right.
Oh, that deck, yeah.
These are zip ties.
Yeah, but they're strong zip ties, right?
Apparently zip ties are now an accepted method of construction.
What does the dictionary say about it?
Fix it.
Well, I mean,
Wants to fix it.
he wants to fix it. Okay, I want to see what the after looks like.
Well, no, not three things.
Yeah.
We'll talk three, portico,
Right.
awning on the back.
I want to see what the back looks like.
Ooh, okay.
You have pictures of it?
Don't, not really.
Oh, well, yeah, you didn't have. I don't need convincing that somebody wants to fix their deck.
Yeah.
That's usually
Yeah.
fix it, right?
No, it's a huge project. And it's they're only buying off small chunks because financially she's challenged and needs some assistance, whether it be low fund grants or contributions. To get the work done, so we select three things that we can do.
Well, the deck isn't one of them on this.
It's
No,
three things, we talked about the footing for the deck and the
Right,
front door,
yeah.
that's it, just get that solid so they can put deck on it. And then paint the front door, and you want awning on the back door.
Yeah.
The only two things we're asking for now.
Yeah, I don't think we have problems with the front door or the reinforcement. The issue is gonna be the covering on the back. I think that's where we
Yeah, that-
have
I
some
mean,
of
that's kind of our argument with Scott. I mean, he had a solution. But it wasn't a good solution. And I saw what this looks like
Do
on,
we, yeah, do we have an overhead shot showing what's on the backyard from that at all?
I looked this awning up.
Who do we have a discussion with? Scott?
For the paneling. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
first go.
Oh, all right. How did that relate to this?
Because that was his sort of cheap solution, and
Mm-hmm.
this is their cheap solution, which. I'm not crazy about it,
Is this the
but it's in the backyard.
No, that doesn't appear to be.
Joey? No.
This says 27 Jasper Ridge Lane, Bellingham, Washington. It said it was sold in February for 513,000, but there's no. There's no other pictures on it.
Sorry. I think it's in the-
Yeah, there's no other pictures of it.
Oh. Well, that's.
So, but that's, you're saying that's not the house?
But it doesn't, I don't believe there was, I could be wrong
Are you
with
telling me the internet is wrong now?
I don't, that could have been a garage on the right, yeah, cause we walked around,
House, isn't
you remember? The stairs were on the left,
Yeah.
and then we walked around.
it?
I
I
thought,
walked around the right side.
and then to the backyard, to the gate.
Is this it right here?
No,
It's one of the rare street views.
No, I don't think that's it. I feel 90% comfortable, that is not.
I'm more than nine, I'm more than nine, it was an orange house, wasn't it?
It's not this one here.
Like a rusty orange. kind of-
Yeah, well, I go burgundy.
That one?
No, that's. Yeah, well, that's,
Be more convinced it was that one than
no,
that one, but.
alright, so
Okay, so
It had,
let's bring it back around.
is
Where
a
are we?
porch in front and back,
That's all bad.
Did you find it there, Daniel?
I think so, it says 27 Jasper Ridge is.
possibly. If it is, it's an old photo.
Did you say it's orange now?
Sort of an earthy color.
No,
That's not it?
no,
They said the internet's wrong?
emphatically no. No, I mean, well, maybe it's a shot from a different, I don't see a deck, I don't see a garage. You know, I don't see the steps.
Hmm.
That's the same shot that he had, that one right there,
Property search.
but I don't think that's correct.
alright, so
Yeah,
you're saying, Patrick, that you're fine with everything with that back awning thing?
Well, I don't know if I disagree or not. I mean, that's the only area that we have concern about.
Yeah, I agree with Patrick, I mean, I'm okay with the other ones, I wonder about
Didn't you
this
say
one.
that there's nothing behind?
that's why I want an overhead shot, I'm. High degree of. Certainty that there's nothing facing on the back end of the green space.
And so this awning on the back won't be visible from the street or
It
anything.
was not visible from the street. I can guarantee you that. It's in the back of the house.
I move to approve.
Okay, sure.
Any other comments?
Only thing I would say is he sounds like this is gonna be an incremental.
Yeah, that's what I.
Wait, she's not going anywhere. She wants to fix her house up, right?
Oh, that's
And
good.
we're trying to guide her in the most reasonable kind of way.
I mean, that this kind of haphazard or not haphazard, it sounds like this awning is kind of a cheaper thing, kind of cheap looking.
I looked it up at Lowe's website, it didn't look great.
No, but it's inexpensive and it's functional to keep the rain off the door.
So this
It's
is,
a photo of it. on
this is,
Well, the privacy
27
screen was functional too.
this is 27 right here, and there is nothing behind
Is this,
27.
There's nothing behind it.
No.
that's on the property
They
records.
said it's not,
It looks like the house, the lot next door is owned
It's
by
gotta be,
Sun
it's
Valley.
on the property records.
I'm okay.
I was there.
Did you look property records or Zillow? What were you looking at?
I don't know.
Property record says Pam Holloway.
Yeah, that's her. She's the owner.
Pam and Dave, I think.
That's again.
Shows a wood deck off the back.
What? You see a wood deck?
Well, in the diagram showing.
Oh, the diagram, okay.
Yeah, it's just showing the front.
Can I see the front picture? Yeah, this one is old, but it is more what we saw. Would you agree, Jerry?
Closer, yes.
Okay. Yeah. So the lot next door is vacant. Which is because it's owned by Sun Valley with a covenant on it.
And then we have two lots behind, which don't appear to have any development on them.
They're owned by Dmitry Savchuk,
Okay.
which tells me that
We can do it.
one's owned by Dmitry and the other one's owned by Mark. So those are probably gonna be
Construction sites.
at some point.
Did you like the rest of your stuff?
Yeah.
You want me to take over with that?
So this sounds like we're just not gonna overthink this one, we're gonna be okay with it.
I think we've got a motion, right? Did you make a motion?
Yeah,
Alan is working cooperatively with the
We
homeowner.
made the motion, Joe G,
All in favor?
to approve all three. I agree.
Okay. It's unanimous on
thank
that.
you. 11. This is interesting.
Actually, it isn't.
What is it?
We don't, I think we talked about this and we decided we don't have much information. We asked for elevation views, but we got elevation views of the house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We're not
We
getting that.
wanted top view of the garage.
Yeah, that's nothing. We don't know what the garage is gonna look like, so
Okay,
I think we're gonna deny as submitted,
and we need
pending more information.
elevations of garage.
Yeah. And maybe with a little more detail than these elevations. These are just rough sketches.
Right.
I can't believe they built the house based on these drawings.
We'll want the dimensions with that elevation.
so this is a new build. As I say, we request a variance for our future home to include a detached garage. The main reason is we're planning on building on a very tight envelope for the main home structure. It will include fiberboard exterior and
Familiar with this situation at all.
a rain screen
I
detail.
think they said something about, yeah,
There will be an over and above the typical 2x6 insulation. The toxicity of an attached garage would negate our ability to achieve our building envelope goals. What the hell does that mean?
so
They don't-
The toxicity of an attached garage would negate our ability to achieve our building envelope goal.
I guess they don't want carbon monoxide poisoning. What they're saying.
The lot's topography would likely force us to build below the main living area as well. Based on those factors, we seek a variance. Also, we had the double lot to accommodate the separation between the two buildings and still meet the open space requirements as necessary. The exterior finished details of the two buildings will match exactly. So have they submitted a building request for the main house?
no,
I haven't seen one.
Then we kind of have to look at it as a package deal.
I would think so, yeah.
So they need to submit a building request along with a variance for the detached garage and whatever else they.
okay.
Yeah, we didn't even.
No, this asked for we asked for the elevation of it back in last year. And we still haven't gotten that.
No,
And that's why we didn't go look at the lot at all, because we still don't have enough information. They may
Well, now
have, they may
that-
have staked it.
I mean, reading that a little closer, it sounds like they are planning on building a new house there. So maybe they're just
putting the cart
before
before
they,
the horse.
well, I can.
Maybe they just
sort of
want to know whether
understand that. They
they.
don't want to spend the time and energy and cost to.
Well,
decide.
it should probably be an in concept request then.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go.
Yeah, talk to them about maybe submitting something like that.
Okay,
I mean, yeah, we'll consider variance, but we need more information.
Maybe we should go out there and meet with them.
I think we need, somebody should talk with them to get, I wish they'd come in and we be able to cross examine what it is.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I mean, they're building a house or a garage. I'm not sure what the question is.
Okay.
So I think just deny submitted pending more information.
Yeah,
So Michael and Robin. Yeah, so it looks like they own 16 Hillside Place and then it goes straight to 20 Hillside.
Should be 18.
Yeah, no, it doesn't, because it looks like it's a combined lot, and you can kind of see it's a very large lot, so they're wanting to build a. Yeah. There is no 18, it goes 16 to 20, which
Because
means,
the address they give is 18 Hillside Place.
well, this may not be entirely accurate, but according, the county parcel maps have it as 16 Hillside owned by Michael and Robin D'Agostino. So it is a double lot. There's nothing behind it.
So we got a motion,
I need to know that.
I'll take it, I guess.
So what was the motion to deny and request that they submit an in concept for the whole project?
Yeah,
Okay,
more, I said more information, but I think,
yes. What I've written down will need elevation of garage with dimensions, more details. And we wanna say. Need an in concept,
I think that's what they, I think that's what they want here, we can't request, we can't, approve a garage without seeing what the house looks like. Or even what the garage looks like.
need in concept for whole thing.
Well, this is a resubmission from the June,
Only
May
because they,
meeting last year.
only because they withdrew it. They weren't ready to go, so that was,
They're still not
that was
ready.
earlier in the little, on the page. That's,
So they don't have, like, they haven't submitted a building permit.
no, this is signed by Wayne, which kind of dates it for me going back a ways. Right,
Okay.
so.
All right, we got a vote on that one, right?
Yep,
We're good.
All in favor, aye.
okay,
All right, now we're looking at another extension,
yeah,
item 12.
yeah,
I'll make a motion to approve an up to 6-month extension.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item 13, 22 Sweetclover Circle. I think we spoke with this woman a couple weeks ago.
yeah. The neighbor followed her and I got an email from her saying it was okay to believe in the setback.
Okay, so this one's just a variance request, right?
Yeah,
Did you follow all that, Dan?
Yeah.
History
Yeah,
of this.
so she's already submitted for and got approval on the fence.
she's approved on the fence, the question was where I was gonna be, and she had submitted a variance at that time, but we wanted something in writing from the neighbor. And so she contacted the neighbor contacted me and said, yeah, she's good with it.
Okay, any motion on this one?
I move to approve.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thirty-two Bramble Way, item 14, another extension. Any motion on that?
I move to approve.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Doesn't allow. Paint color for item 15, 334 Southern Valley Drive. So these aren't on our approved paint.
They are not.
I have no palette for this deck, so someone else is gonna have to decide whether this looks nice.
I like it, I don't, that doesn't look like the color, that the shingles they have up there, they don't even look like they're painted, I don't know when they got. Even the color in the batten doesn't really look like, the swatches are all we really needed, I think.
Yeah. It was a multi-part request, some of it we were able to strip off and get on a manager's like for like.
Yeah.
And the rest, because they were unapproved colors, we had to come through here.
Can I get a motion on this one?
I move to approve.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I just wanna know who sits around and comes up with a name for these paints.
Oh, I love that name.
Would love to do that.
You would,
Peacock blue.
toasty.
Okay, items 16, 3 Fawn Court.
We went out and looked at this one. I think we're having a strong arm Daniel on this one, right?
Yeah.
I would like to point out that the tree is in no way a diameter of 4 feet. That threw us off a little bit. Get a motion on this one?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve.
All in favor?
Aye.
That was approval, right?
Yeah. Item 17, 3 Cedar Place. Oh, yeah.
This is the rescue of submittals, you just can't get rid of it.
I think one of the things we talked about was limiting the extent of the the pavers in the front of the fire pit.
Yeah.
That's kind of a good aesthetic solution, but I was thinking about it last night, would it be safer to let the pavers go further beyond that?
So she's got two requests. One is she wants to rebuild her fire pit.
Yeah.
Then the second one is she wants to put these pavers in, and as soon as she puts the pavers in, they're in the Sun Valley Road. But we've got a unusually large right of way for some reason, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does look like, yeah, if you go to the property, it definitely looks like the right of way way beyond where it should be. Cause there's a ditch and then it comes up again and then the right of way goes maybe 5 feet into that.
You would think
Yeah.
that that's logically where it is, but it's not.
So based on the pictures, again, you said the right of way is about where that retaining,
No, the back.
No,
of
the back of
bench.
the bench.
the back of the bench. So the
Yeah.
back of the bench is the edge of the retaining wall, or the edge of the
Yeah,
right, edge of the right of way.
Ish, yeah, correct.
Can we approve her putting stuff on the right of way? Or does it have to go through maintenance?
It would go through maintenance after your approval. Mike's already been out there. We put the kibosh on the retaining wall. And he helped me find the.
Well, does she have a retaining wall even beyond this little one by the pavers? Wasn't there?
There's a little thing, yeah, that kind of delineating the berm from the sitting area, kind of like maybe 1 stone high.
Okay. But I thought there was something closer toward the road too, but I.
No, it's just all berm and ditch.
Okay.
There's a white paint mark there. And on the right where the driveway is, there's the water monument,
So the property line is where the back of the bench is,
pretty much.
and she's supposed to stay 5 feet off of that.
Correct.
Which pretty much puts it
Right in.
right by the fire pit.
Fire pit, right.
But given the situation here, we're never gonna use that. We're never gonna use that part of the property. So what if we said, we talked the other day about 2 feet, what if we said we'll approve the reconstruction of the fire pit? And the addition of the pavers, provided that the pavers don't extend more than 5 feet off the.
Fire pit.
From the fire pit.
From the fire pit, in any direction.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, so there's a 5 feet, yeah.
You think she would go with that?
More, very happy. She would be very appreciative of that.
I mean, that's gonna walk the pavers probably up to the edge of the
Wall.
property line, but.
Yeah,
We could approve the variance for that,
Yeah.
given the circumstances that the
Yeah.
property line appears to be way out of whack.
correct.
Well, I think the 5 feet from the end of the fire pit to going toward the street. But
Right,
if she wanted to make pavers between the fire pit and the house, she can make it as long as she
you
wanted.
know, as much as she wants that direction.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think she already
You
has-
should probably, want a walkway or something to
I
get to the
would
fire pit.
suggest something symmetrical, so it's a ring around it and.
Yeah, but it could be kind of a,
Sure, it could be curved. Okay. 17,
I'll make a motion to approve the fire pit and the installation of the pavers, provided that the pavers don't extend more than 5 feet off the edge of the fire pit.
toward the street.
Well, we don't want her paving the whole.
No, but if she wants to go,
It's already, she's already got papers going maybe
Right.
10 feet from the house.
Okay, all right, yeah, 5 feet towards the property line.
So would that be
That would be 17.
16 and 17?
That'd be
17 and
Yeah.
17? They kind of go together, don't they?
Well, we'll take, all right, I'll make a motion then to approve items 17 and 18, which would be the variance, provided that the extension of the pavers is not more than 5 feet towards the property.
towards the street.
Toward the street.
All in favor?
You can write
Aye.
that.
Aye.
Thank you. We got that one off the agenda.
They were doing 17 and 18.
Yeah.
We're
That's
done.
that's it. I told my wife I'd be done in an hour.
Don't go off and be over.
She said,